Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel, and I'm not gonna lie, I almost don't know where to even begin with this. We're gonna be looking at a very strange oddity on loan to us by friend of the channel, Maximal10. Last week we looked at a strange Legends class Starscream, and I say strange because I could not pinpoint the version that I had when I was looking up listings of that little Legend Starscream. He was released in everything from Transformers 2010 to Reveal the Shield, or RTS, to Chronicles. I didn't even know it was a line. He was really released again in 2014 and 2017, and I don't know, but as recently as 2021. However, a lot of comments came in after, and people said, hey, I have that Starscream, and I got him from like dollar stores or big lots in the United States. And he was part of like, I guess a wave of 4, including him, Bumblebee, Megatron, and this guy, Legends class Optimus Prime. And apparently they all came with accessories this time, because some versions of them come with accessories and some don't. This Optimus Prime is another oddity that was released multiple times in multiple lines. And while I tend to believe that this is one of the Takara releases, I can't quite pinpoint it, because when I look at the Takara releases, yes, we have the kind of metallic red that this guy has, and black legs, but we also have a black head on this one. The face of this one is blue. And I did find a release that had a blue face and black legs, but it didn't come with a sword. This one comes with a sword, so I'm not really sure what line this little Legends Optimus is actually from. But we're going to check him out anyway and see if he's any good in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you are at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this is a little Legends class Optimus Prime that I have no idea what line it's actually from. Everything in my gut and everything from Maximal10 says Takara. And even he said the North American version didn't come with a sword, but there are North American versions that in fact did come with a sword. There are versions with blue legs, or rather blue paint on the front of black legs. This one doesn't have that. It's all black legs. I don't know what version this is. Sometimes the chest had blue paint, sometimes it didn't. Sometimes he had a sword, sometimes he didn't. It is a weird hodgepodge of a release. And without any further ado, how about we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And so here we have another one of these little Legends oddities from way back when. And I say from way back when because I'm really not sure what year this is from. This, of course, is on loan to me by a good friend of the channel, Maximal10. He claims that this is the Takara Tomy version, as the North American version apparently didn't come with a sword. However, I don't think that's the whole story. Originally, this mold was used in 2010 as a deluxe class version of Optimus Prime, but that one had blue legs, or blue paint on the legs I should say, on the front of the legs at least, as well as no sword and a blue head. And that one didn't have this kind of metallic sheen to it that this one has. It was used again a little bit later on, about 2 years or so later, as part of the Reveal the Shield line, and that one did come with a sword, but unlike this one, the red still doesn't pop as much as this red seems to, and the legs still had blue as well as the head having blue. So it's not really that one, I don't think. But that wasn't the last use of this mold. No, because this mold was again used in the EZ collection in 2011, and this one has a black head and all black legs, so there's no blue paint on the legs, but that one didn't come with a sword. It also had a little Autobot symbol on it, I believe a G2 Autobot symbol on it, which this one does have. So the plot thickens and we kind of keep going. It was used again later on in an all clear version. It was used again with more of this sort of deco in the EZ Collection Gum version, but that one still didn't come with a sword. So this one seems to most closely resemble the EZ Gum version in 2012, but This one comes with a sword. It's very, very strange, and it's very difficult to tell exactly what it is. Now, some people may recognize this one because, much like the Starscream that we recently looked at, this, along with Starscream, along with Bumblebee, and along with the G2 Megatron, were all released as like some sort of dollar store versions, some sort of, I don't know, line in a dollar store. Dollar General? Is that a Family Dollar? I don't know. I don't live in the US, so I don't know what your dollar stores are, but like, they were found there. I've heard some reports that say that this one came with a sword and some that say it doesn't. Those that say it came with a sword and have shown me the Generations packaging, it still doesn't match because that one has the blue on the lower legs. This one doesn't. Plus that one doesn't have the same shade of red as this one. So it's so strange. So strange. In 2013, it was released in Japan as part of that Easy collection. No, it didn't work there. In 2014, it was a promotional campaign. I'm probably tying in with Age of Extinction. I can't really recall for sure now, but that one was like a translucent red version. 2014 had one that looks really close to this. But again, that had blue legs. And there were some running variants in some of these. So maybe I have hit on which version this is without even actually knowing it. This version is pretty peculiar. As a truck though, and as much as we've gone through all that, as a truck though, it's a pretty good Optimus, honestly. Like, there's the front, all nice and painted. Like, the grille is painted, the windows are painted. I prefer the kind of silver on the windows over the blue. On the side, I mean, we have some red paint there. We have the chrome on the, I don't know what you call it, the fuel canister thing. There's a port on top for the sword itself. So pretty cool, pretty cool. He rolls fine. I mean, the sword is nothing special. It's, take that out. It's just a sword, right? It has a nice sheen to it. I'll give credit where credit is due. This is the peg I just used to peg it on up here. There is a handle, and yes, he can hold it in his hand. Let's do the transformation, and then we'll give this guy some scores. So, the transformation is, as you would probably expect, fairly simplistic. Yeah, he really rolls nice. Fairly simplistic, exactly what you would sort of expect for an Optimus with kind of one little twist. I think, though, it's sort of inspired at the same time for something that's just a simple Legends class. So we come here to the side, and we pull out that front tire, and as we usually do with Optimus, we bring the whole shoulder section out. We come to this side, we pull out the tire, bring the whole shoulder section out. Cool. We take the head, and it, is it this way it goes? The head flips up. I'm just trying to determine now. Yeah, the head flips up that way. We straighten down the legs, and this is the clever part, turn the whole torso around so he has a bit more of an Optimus Prime-esque body. I'm just going to straighten these arms up, I'm going to split the legs, and I'm going to stand this guy up with his sword in his hand, and then we'll give him some scores. So first things first, I think the transformation, honestly, is pretty good for a little Legends lad. It's familiar, but the whole torso rotation is nice. Not only does it give you a point of articulation, but it really kind of solves the whole issue of the front of the truck needing to be very squared off while the body has kind of more shape and definition to it. I'm going to give the transformation a solid, for what it is, I'm going to give it a solid 8. The look of the guy is pretty good. It's more of a G2 color scheme that had certainly the dark blue, if not black. The legs are black, but here's the thing. Unlike some of the releases where the head and the legs are black, the head is still blue here, so I don't know what it's coming from. Black legs, blue head. Other than the all black legs, I mean, it's pretty darn close to Optimus. Yeah, sure, we're missing some yellow, like, light detailing and stuff, but I mean, for a little Legends class, it's pretty darn good for what it is. Does this, even hold a candle to, say, the Generations Legends class Optimus or the, like, Kingdom Legacy Optimus? No, obviously not. Those are much better. But for look for this guy, I mean, I'm going to give it a... Again, I'll give it about an 8. You obviously know it's Optimus. This was also used for, I think they called him Motor Breath, but it's a version of Motor Master. They may have even called him Menasor, but it's a version of Motor Master, right? And I can kind of see how this could lend itself to that usage for a little Legends class offering. So we have an 8, and we'll say an 8. We'll say an 8 and an 8, right? Looks and transformation. What about the articulation? That's our last metric. Well, the arms have technically a butterfly because of transformation. The shoulder can go all the way around. We do have an elbow to 90 degrees, and because of the ball joint, I guess you'd say a bicep swivel. Unfortunately, no outward motion at the shoulder, so they're stuck by his side. We do have a head that can look down because of transformation, but that's all it does. It doesn't look up, it doesn't look side to side or anything. The torso moves, so you kind of got a waist. It's pardon me. It's really, I guess, more of a chest, but it's there. Legs can go all the way forward. In fact, because of transformation, you almost get a little bit of an ab crunch there. So, yeah, legs go forward. They don't really go, well, they kind of go back a little bit, but not a lot. Out to the side, that's all we're getting. And no knee. Bummer at the knee and bummer at the shoulders. I wish the hips had a little bit more. The articulation here is somewhat lacking. And, you know, around this time, if not shortly after this time, we did get some golden age versions that were Legends class. In fact, the releases of this range anywhere from 2010 to I believe as late as 2021, if I'm not mistaken. And certainly in that decade, we had some excellent Legends class offerings. So this one's a bit lackluster. I'm only going to give the articulation. I mean, you could probably score a decent pose for display, but for our actual in-hand functionality, it's not that great. I'm going to give it a score of, I don't know, let's say 7. Overall, I think that this guy's about a 7.75. It's an okay Optimus. It's certainly interesting, and it is fun to convert back and forth. But if you're looking to do anything more than convert it back and forth, I don't know if this one is going to give you a whole lot of joy. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Overall score for me, 7.75. And here we are, and here he is. So, like, I like him, I guess, fine enough. I mean, it's so strange because I want to say, like, he came out in, like, the time of, like, Selects and whatnot. Or not Selects, the time of Classics and whatnot. And, like, maybe he did, but he had releases as late as, you know, between 2010 and 2020, when we had like the golden age, I'm going to call it, of Legends class offerings in that era. This particular version has a blue head and black legs, but I love the metallic red. I'm glad he has the silver chest. And the sword is neat, but why not an axe? Why not an ion blaster? It doesn't really make much sense. I think the transformation is familiar but interesting. And the articulation is okay, although not being able to T-pose the arms is a real bummer. Real big bummer. And no knee is a real bummer. Real big bummer. While this was, at the time, Legends, I feel like when we talk about the golden age of Legends, and I'm talking about like the Legends of Generations, Combiner Wars, Power of the Primes, Titan's Return. Some might even say the core classes now. I mean, naturally, the Generations Optimus that came with the little Target Master guy is better than this. Naturally, the Kingdom Legacy version of Core Class Optimus is better than this. But you know what? This has a charm all its own. It looks good, nice transformation, just the articulation is a little bit lacking. For some people, he's going to have a strong nostalgia value. Are you one of those people? Let me know what you think about this odd little Legends Optimus Prime. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, please hit the subscribe button. Stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit. Either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way right here inside the videos.